Okay, boys and girls, yesterday we talked about persuasive text. And we said that a persuasive text is the type of text that an author writes based on an opinion. Remember, an opinion is just something that you think, but it's not a fact. Remember, a fact are proven things that are true. For example, I have a black vest on. This is a fact because I really am wearing a black vest. An opinion to that might be, I love wearing vests. I love to wear a vest, but that doesn't mean everybody does, okay? So the fact is a proven fact that is true. An opinion is just our own feelings and how we think about things, okay? So we made this little, I called it a donut yesterday, this little persuasive text donut, and we read a text about doing chores. And remember, the author's opinion was that all kids should have chores. And so that went in the middle of our donut. And then I put her reasons why all around as the sprinkles. So we're going to do the same today, but we're going to do it with the short passage that you should have listened to in Seesaw yesterday, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to reread it to you. So our passage yesterday was called Soccer is Great. Soccer is the best sport. You can play anywhere because all you need is a ball. Soccer is great exercise. It's fun to be a part of a team. Okay, so now let's kind of talk about the author's opinion in this and then the reasons that the author gave. Remember, persuasive text is my favorite because it gives us an opportunity to kind of argue a little bit with the author, argue about whether or not we think the same things. So remember yesterday with the chores, I started by thinking, what? I don't think all kids need to have chores. But then the author was able to change my mind. Remember, that's one of the things, change someone's mind. The author was able to change my mind about it with her reasons. We will see how it goes today with soccer. I also need to make sure that it's important that I'm telling you that it's okay if you don't agree with the author's opinion. Okay? You do not always have to agree. But what is important that you need to be doing is if you do not agree with the author's opinion, you need to make sure that you have your own opinions or your own reasons why you don't agree. Okay? We can't just say to somebody, no, I do not think that all kids should have to do chores, and then that is that. You need to also come up with your own reasons to try to convince the other person why you don't agree. Okay, so we are going to be using and let me get my signs, reading voice and thinking voice for this activity. So I'm going to start with the reading voice. So I'm going to fill in my little donut, right? So what is the author's opinion here? The author's opinion is that soccer is the best sport. I know that because that's how it starts, and also because soccer being the best sport is not a fact, right? It's the author's opinion. It is how she feels. Soccer is the best sport is going to be my author's opinion. So that's going to go in the middle of my donut. Now, let's talk about some of the reasons she gave. So her first reason for soccer being the best sport comes right on the very next, actually it's all of the text, because a persuasive text, the author is trying to convince you that soccer is the best sport. So everything she writes is her reasons why. You can play anywhere. You can play anywhere. So I'm going to put this up here, but I also had a thought. My thinking voice came out when I read that sentence because the author thinks that you can play anywhere, but my thinking voice was saying, well, can you play anywhere? Because it might be hard to play at your house. It might be hard to play in your classroom. You can't really play anywhere, Okay, so that's what my thinking voice said. It might be hard to play at your house. It might be hard to play anywhere, like the author says. The author also says, all you need is a ball. So that was one of her reasons for why soccer was the best sport, because all you need is a ball. My thinking voice came out and said, well, not really. I mean, you can practice with just a ball, but if you're going to really have a soccer game, you also need to have a net, you need to have a team, you need to have teammates. So in reality, if you were really playing a soccer game with somebody, you don't just need a ball. You need nets, you need teammates, probably tennis shoes because you have to run a lot. So if I'm somebody, I don't have tennis shoes, I'm not going to be able to play soccer. So I might not think that soccer is the best sport, right? The author also said that it is great exercise. Okay, so my thinking voice is coming in and saying, yeah, she's right, it is great exercise. But I'm using what I know about soccer to know that you have to run a lot in soccer. I mean, like, run the whole entire game, and I don't like to run. That's not what I like to do for exercise, right? Maybe you like to run. I definitely don't. So my thinking voice is telling me it is great exercise, but I don't really like to run, okay? And there's other things that you can do for exercise. You don't have to run to get good exercise, right? The author says at the end, it is fun to be a part of a team. So this was her last reason for saying that soccer is the best sport. My thinking voice came out and said, yeah, she's right. You know what? It is fun to be a part of a team, but soccer is not the only sport that you get to be a part of a team, okay? So maybe she likes to be a part of a soccer team. Maybe I like to be a part of a basketball team or a football team. So it is fun to be on a team, but soccer is not the only sport that allows you to be on a team. I also had one more thought about the exercise, okay? Like I said before, there are other ways you can exercise. You don't need to play soccer to get exercise. You can do jumping jacks every day, push-ups, you can lift weights, other sports, you can play other sports. Other sports are good exercise. So soccer isn't the only way to get your exercise that you might need for the day, okay? There's a lot of other ways. So when it comes down to it, it seems like every thought that I had about her reason to like soccer was kind of arguing against it, right? So when somebody asks me the question, do you agree with the author that soccer is the best sport? Do I agree? No, I don't agree. And I can see that on my chart because all of my reasons kind of go against her reasons, right? You can play anywhere. Not really, said my thinking voice. All you need is a ball. My thinking voice said, nope, you need a net, you need teammates, tennis shoes. It's great exercise, the author said, but my thinking voice said, yeah, it is, but also you can lift weights, you can do jumping jacks, push-ups, you could join another sport. All sports are good exercise. You don't have to do soccer to get exercise. The author said it is fun to be a part of a team, and my thinking voice said, yeah, it is, but again, there are other sports that allow you to be a part of a team. So if you're asking if I agree that soccer is the best sport, my answer is no. I don't agree. Now remember, I can't just say no. So my reasons why is because, and it says no, I don't agree. Soccer may be fun for some, but there are a lot of things about soccer that I don't like. I think, so my opinion is, gymnastics is the best sport. Okay, so hopefully this kind of helped you see the thought process and the process of persuasive text and finding what the author is trying to make you believe and their reasons, and having fun kind of either agreeing or arguing back. Today in Seesaw, you're going to listen to a story called Thumbs Up for Music. I have a feeling that the author of the story is going to try to convince us that music is probably awesome. So after you listen to the story, I want you to do what I just did just now. You're going to fill in the persuasive text chart. I want to hear what your thoughts are, and then I want to know if you agree with the author. Why or why not?